Alright, we are going to be looking at a second set of problems for the second part of the review for the quiz. So these problems deal with function operations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Problem 6 is a composition of functions. Some of these you also have to evaluate afterwards as well. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. So problem 1 says that h of n is equal to 4n plus 2, and it wants us to find h of 1. So notice that it's asking for h of 1 instead of h of n. That means wherever I see an n, I'm going to plug in the 1. So I see an n there, and I see it there. So this is going to become h of 1 is equal to 4 times 1 instead of n, because that's what we're plugging in, plus 2. So h of 1 is going to be 4 times 1 is 4, and then we have plus 2. So h of 1 is going to equal 6. Okay. Problem 2, f of n equals 3n minus 4. Find f of n divided by 3. So wherever I see n, so there's one here and one here, I'm going to plug in n divided by 3. So I'm going to plug it in there and in there. So f of n divided by 3 is equal to 3 times n divided by 3 minus 4. Okay, now I get that there's a fraction, and oh my goodness, but guys, don't freak out. It's 3 times n divided by 3, so I'm multiplying by 3 and I'm dividing by 3. I'm not really doing anything because these are going to cross each other out. I have f of n divided by 3 is equal to n minus 4. Now I can't subtract n and 4. It just doesn't work that way with letters and numbers. There's no like terms, so I'm done. Problem 3, h of a equals negative 3a plus 2. G of a equals negative 3a plus 5. It wants us to find h times g of a. Now, guys, just really quick, this right here doesn't mean multiply by a. This is just saying that we're going to have the variable a in our answer. It doesn't mean we multiply. It just means, hey, that's going to be there, and that's fine. So I'm going to put, we'll do a little highlighter. I'm going to put h of a in blue, and I'm going to put g of a in red. Okay, so h of a is negative 3a plus 2, and g of a is negative 3a plus 5. We're being asked to multiply. Okay, so I'm multiplying these two things that I wrote down. And remember, when we multiply, we use FOIL. So F-O-I-L. Okay. So FOIL stands for first. So the first two terms, that's negative 3a times negative 3a. Negative times a negative is positive. 3 times 3 is 9. A times a is a squared. Then O stands for outer. That means the farthest thing on either end. So we have negative 3a and a positive 5. Negative times a positive is negative. 3 times 5 is 15. A times nothing, it's a. Okay. Then I stands for inner, so that's the inside pieces. We have a positive 2 and a negative 3a. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, and then we have the a to come along with it. L stands for last. That means the last piece in each set of parentheses. So I have a positive 2 and a positive 5. 2 times 5, that's 10. Great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to combine like terms. I have my like terms here. Negative 15a and negative 6a. So I have 9a squared minus 21a plus 10. And this is h times g of a. Problem number 4, f of x equals x plus 5. Oops, let me do that a little better. Okay, and then g of x equals 4x minus 2. It wants us to find f plus g of negative 3. So we're just going to start off with what is f plus g, okay? So f plus g means f of x plus g of x. Okay, so f of x is x plus 5, and we're going to add it to g of x, which is 4x minus 2. Okay, so I'm going to add this together by combining like terms. I'll just highlight those for you. I have x and 4x. Okay, so that's going to be 5x. My other like terms are 5 and negative 2. So that's going to be a positive 3. I'm just going to put that in black because you're not going to see the yellow. 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, so this is, right here, this is f plus g of x. But what it wants us to find is f plus g of negative 3. So what I need to do is rewrite 5x plus 3, and instead of having an x there, I need to have a negative 3. So I'm going to plug the negative 3 in. So I have 5 times negative 3 plus 3. Okay, now we just need to simplify. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. So negative 15 plus 3. That's going to be negative 12. And that's going to equal f plus g of negative 3. Problem 5, I have f of n equals n cubed minus 3. G of n is 3n plus 1, and I'm asked to find f minus g of negative 2. Okay, so we're subtracting now. When you subtract, I'm going to put these in colors first. When you subtract, you have to make sure that you are subtracting the whole piece. So f minus g, that's going to be f of n minus g of n. So I have to subtract the entire thing that is g of n, okay? So I'm going to write out f of n, that's n cubed minus 3, and I'm subtracting all of g of n. G of n is 3n plus 1. I have to subtract the whole thing, so I put it inside parentheses. This is going to tell me to make sure that I distribute the negative. And I have n cubed minus 3 minus 3n minus 1. Now all I'm going to do here is I'm going to combine like terms. Okay, I have a negative 3 and a negative 1. I'm going to combine that. So I have n cubed minus 3n minus 4, and this is f minus g of n, but I'm again asked to find f minus g of negative 2, so I need to take what I just wrote down, n cubed minus 3n minus 4, and I'm just going to replace the n's with negative 2. And I'm going to make sure to put them in parentheses when I do that. So I have parentheses negative 2 cubed minus 3, parentheses negative 2 minus 4. Now I'm just going to simplify. Negative 2 cubed. That means negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. That's going to become negative 8. If I can get this to right. There we go. Negative 8. Negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6, and then I have that negative 4 at the end. Just going to rewrite the name on the end. Okay, and then I'm just going to combine all those numbers together. Negative 8 plus 6 minus 4. Okay, all of that needs to be put together. Those are like terms. So negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. Remember, guys, you have a calculator attached to your phone. You can pull it up. It will be okay. All right, so f minus g of negative 2 is equal to negative 6. Lastly, problem 6, h of x is 2x plus 3, g of x is x squared plus 3 plus x. It wants us to find f of g of x. So it's an open circle. Open circle does not mean we're multiplying, okay? We are not multiplying. I cannot stress that enough. You're not multiplying. What you are doing is you're taking this right here and you're looking at the order in the way it's written, okay? So it says h, then the open circle, then g. What this means is you're taking your h function, which is h of x equals 2x plus 3. Then, since it said h, open circle g, g is second, that means what you're going to do is you're going to take g, so g is that, and you're going to take this and you're going to plug it in to your h function here and here. So I'm just going to have a big set of parentheses. So I have h of g of x equals 2, and now I'm going to plug g in. Remember, g is x squared plus 3 plus x. I'm going to plug that in now. So x squared plus 3 plus x, close the parenthesis, and then add that 3 that was right here. You have to bring that with you. It's part of h, needs to be there, okay? Now all we're going to do is distribute our 2, and then we're going to simplify. So I'm going to distribute. H of g of x equals 2x squared plus 6 plus 2x, and we have the plus 3 at the end. I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms, which is this positive 6 and this positive 3. So I have h of g of x equals 2x squared plus 2x plus 9. Okay? Now, this is where we're done, right? There's nothing to plug in. I'm not simplifying anything else. There's no more like terms. I'm not asked to evaluate. This right here, this x in parentheses, remember, it doesn't mean, hey, multiply by x. No. It's just telling you that your answer should have an x in it, which is, exactly right. There's an x here, an x here. It's just telling you, hey, at the end of this, you're going to have an x in your answer. Great. That's all that means. I just want to make sure we're clear on that. Okay, so that's our answer. H of g of x equals 2x squared plus 2x plus 9. Alright, guys. Hopefully this helps you out on your second part of your review. If not, please email me.